Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Good evening and welcome to class once again. Happy holidays to everyone. Pardon me, I may not be showing my face today because my current location experiences severe network fluctuations. So in order for there not to be any glitch, I'm going to be using the audio only. Welcome, my name is Jessica Ochoge Daniel and I will be your moderator for today. Today's class will be on the psychology of politics, myths and realities. The psychology of politics. You don't want to miss this class. After this class, you have 6 more classes to go. So let's do well to inform our party members to join so that we can get on with the lecture. I am going to be back in 5 minutes time, hoping that our number would have improved. Thank you very much, and see you in exactly 4 minutes time. Okay, it is 5:05 and there is a little improvement in our number, though not very impressive. Please inform your party members to join class. Let them know that class has begun. So today, like I said earlier, you'll be learning about the psychology of politics. We'll learn about the myths and the realities. And this will be facilitated by none other than the ED himself, the one and only Mr. Kunle Lawal. He does not need any introduction. If you have not memorized his bio by now, then you are wrong. Anyway, without further ado, please join me in welcoming the ED of the Electoral College to take us on the psychology of politics. You're welcome, ED. Over to you, sir.
Good day, everyone. I know that a lot of people feel that we have interrupted their holidays. Imagine how I feel. My own holidays too are interrupted. But if we didn't have this class today, then we probably wouldn't have. You would be graduating you were graduating a week after, and it would have been for a class. So we sorted this in between to ensure that this all went well. So, preceding this class, I know that over the class, well, I'd just like to start on a very playful note. First and foremost, for those who have always mocked Arsenal and the Real Madrid's fans on this cohort, I just want to wish you guys enough rice that even when you cover the lid of the stadium, the rice will still it will become a pressure pot and the rice will cook well. So apart from that, also congratulations to all my Arsenal fans. We have plans to move far forward. PSG, we beat them in the group stages. We hope to beat them. Look forward to taking the cup, the Champions League cup eventually. So today, after the jokes about clubs, good to have everyone in class today. Today's topic is the psychology of politics, myths, and realities. Now, I know it's perceived information that there is no plan to politics in Nigeria. And that is a massive, I think, uh, fallacy or misconception, common misconception with politics. The truth is, there is a psychology to politics, and this class will attempt to at least broaden your perspective on what psychologies are being employed during politics, how they're being played, and how you could utilize them to your own advantage. It's key that most of what we know about politics are just a peripheral or facade of what exactly exists, and not the entire position of what politics is. So I'll first ask, what is political psychology? Now, it is the psychological fact. It's the study of how psychological factors influence political behavior. Now, what is its relevance to Nigeria? Now, understanding the unique socio-political environment. Now, the first question I'd like to ask everybody in this class, and people will be allowed to raise hands and unmute. I'd like this class a little bit interactive. So, first question I'd like to ask is, does anybody think that and you answer it quickly in just in 30 seconds. Does anybody think that there's a psychological perspective or psychological framework to politics in Nigeria? Do you think things just happen? Do you think the PDP just does things? Do you think the APC just does things? Do you think Labour Party just does things? Do you think the SDP just does things? Do you think NMPP, ADC, then Labour Party, the whole host of 19 political parties available. So we have Augustine, Jessica, sorry.
Okay.
Could you help
Augustine.
unmute Augustine?
Okay. Go ahead, Augustine.
Okay, good afternoon, ED and the host. I want to say, actually, when I saw the topic for today, I was really impressed because I have been meaning to say that Nigerian political space has been full with a lot of manipulation, which is, in other words, you can say psychology of the political sphere. But in Nigeria recently, I noticed that we dwindle like just like the breeze. As the breeze takes us, everybody wants to go towards that direction. And it's been like that. If you check the narrative, let's take Labour Party for instance. When the everybody was turning to, oh, the Peter Obi mantra, because they believed that that was what was going to happen. And at that point in time, that was where almost everybody's attention, we forgot, some persons forgot about their own conscience. Some people went against their own party because there was a wind of, can I say, let me not use the word change. There was a fresh breath in the air, in the atmosphere. For them, that was what they felt. Some was not because that was what they believed. It was because that is what was happening. That's what almost everybody was saying. And it makes and encourages them to follow that route. But I also feel that people in Nigeria don't usually follow their conscience when it comes to voting. They follows what other people's perspective is, what they see that, oh, this I want to just follow the winning team, I don't want to be left out. So I feel there's there are should I say manipulation, something kind of that nature in the political space. So it's usually
Okay,
about
thank you very much, Augustine. The truth is that anywhere in the world, you are manipulated to make your choices, and that's the truth. But most people will not want to accept that that is the norm anywhere in the world. But the truth is that we're actually manipulated by our towards our choices, and it's what the game of politics is. It's it entices you. It's like sale, you know. The people that don't have their products that don't have adverts because they want it to be projected to their customers that they are above avant-garde and or above the average. And this is a common situation in also politics. There are those that appeal and make them seem like they're above the common man. Are they really about the common man? That I think it's just marketing of politics, and nobody really votes conscience or those things are not exactly what happens in politics. So let's have okay, Juliet Obiageri, if I'm right. Obiageri, if I'm right.
Go ahead, Obiageri.
All right, good evening, everybody.
Good evening, ma'am.
Please, for me, I think that political parties emerge or evolve for certain reasons. People don't just, political parties don't just happen. People come together to decide to form a political party for some reasons, either to win power or to wrestle power, or to or to portray a particular ideology. And for what happened in the last electoral cycle, that everybody tilted towards the Labour Party, is because people, for the first time, felt that they have seen a neutral, something that is neutral from what we know. We have known a lot of persons convening around APC and PDP. Now, this is a man, though has been from the political terrain, but coming up with a different ideology. And just as his mantra would say, go and verify. So people felt for the first time that we have seen somebody who we think is genuine. And I think a lot of people leveraged on that, even people who are not credible, who ordinarily shouldn't have been even within the political space, leveraged on that wind to emerge. So for me, political parties don't just happen overnight. There is a deliberate effort. People come together, people put up strategies to make sure that they get exactly what they want out of the space. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you, Juliet. But we're referring more to the political psychology than where to the political parties. And well, as we go over this class, though, we'll get to that. Can we have Christopher Ejiofor?
Christopher, go ahead.
Uh, Can you hear me?
Yes, you can hear you, Christopher.
Good evening, Edie. It's pleasure to
Good
be here
evening.
again today. When we talk about political psychology, I think we are talking about the behavior of both the electorate and the politicians inside the country. Okay, so I think political psychology is actually what controls how the people behave in a particular political cycle. First, we talk about the political ideology, which can influence political psychology, because you can't do the
I think we've lost Chris. Chris, are you there? Is it me or I can't hear Chris?
I think he has gone off.
Okay, can we
Maybe
have
he's left.
Grace? Can we have
Okay.
Grace?
Grace, go ahead, please.
All right. Edie, good evening, sir. For
Good
me,
evening,
sir,
ma.
psychology talks about ideas that is governing a political system that has to do with all the ideas, all the people involved in political system, the politician, the voter, the common man, everybody involved in the ideas. That means the ideas is governed by it's human being that normally put the ideas. So all the ideas that has to do with political system, that is political ideology, sir.
Okay, political psychology. That's what I was trying to. But good attempt. So let's move on and let's see how I would give out. So understanding Nigerian political behavior. First and foremost, I would say it is critical to look at what they call it. It's critical to look at the historical behavior of voters in Nigeria. Now, the way we vote, the way we think politically, and how we act is that based on a few factors. The first will be the historical. Now, many people do not know that Lord Lugard just amalgamated Nigeria and his slave queen, who came over to see him, helped name Nigeria as Florence Shaw. But he has no constitution. I believe the first constitution was Clifford. And we kind of blame Lord Lugard for the problems we have, maybe because but the amalgamation also for Nigeria was instrumental at that time because they needed to be able to enhance British sovereignty over Nigeria and the Cameroons at the time. So a lot of us blame a lot of our problems due to colonialism. I don't understand how this has happened because we're like over 60 years away from colonial masters or being we're over 60 years a sovereign nation or an independent nation. Another thing that tilts the way Nigerians think about politics will be military rule. So the president breaks Section 305, which allows the president efficiently put in emergency rule. But the president now suspends the governor, and we think it's fine. And he appoints his sole administrator in a democracy on top of an elected government. Okay. Let's say the president is right. He's not right constitutionally, we know that. But let's, for instance, say he's right. So what would you do with the massive killings in Zamfara, Benue, and Plateau that their governors are still sitting in office? Is that a question anyone has asked themselves? Anyway, like I said, even the fact the so-called Democrat who's president can effect removal or suspension, and the National Assembly will back that up. It is totally preposterous and shocking that we still live within a military thought process. Because Why else will he appoint a sole administrator? He could have been governed by the National Assembly, retained all the permanent secretaries, but he doesn't even have the power to suspend the governor. So there's even no way that is supposed to happen. I don't understand how we've left military for more than 20 something years, and it's taking so much far more time to get our minds out of the military thought process which we have in our head. Another one will be the cultural, which is of course I summed into ethnicity, religion, and communal identity. Now, ethnicity plays a very strong part in our politics, and even not before. Yoruba, it is our turn. The Fulanis want to be president. The Hausas feel marginalized. North Central has never been president. South has had it once. These conversations that move us away or push us away from the core act of these things that we allow rule our brain, takes us away from essence of meritocracy or competence, which has become quite a massive problem in Nigerian politics. Religion. Should he be a Muslim? Should he be a Christian? And in states like Plateau that have taken it another notch, is he cooking within the same religion? Is he cooking? Is he Catholic? Is it Anglican? Is it Equa? Is it why? Why? Then we also go to communal identity, and you see these things happening particularly in Eastern Nigeria. It's not from maybe it's not an original Igbo guy, or these ones they are also the two class system. They're not considered people. And you know, whether you like it or not, you might not think like that, but politicians must consider all these things or all these factors in judging whether it's possible to win an election in a particular place or point in time. Now, the economic power or the economic position of people in a country also determine political behavior. Is that place with massive poverty? Is that place with voter inducement occur in that place? Now, if I ask a question that you guys should answer in the chat box, yes or no, we're going to just do a small trivia. And here it's going to be a little shocking. Okay, you know what? I'll look at the answers or randomly pick one person. Oh, wait. Anyway, I'll find how I'll get the gift. Might not be in this answer. So, where do you think money induces votes? In the rural areas or in the urban areas? Where does money actually dictate how people will vote? So I'll give you rural. No, you answer in chat box. I won't allow you so that I won't delay. Rural, I'll give you 3 areas. Rural, semi-urban, or urban, but semi-elite, then elite. Now the elite is Ikoyi. Let's use Lagos. Ikoyi, Surulere, semi, then Oshodi. No, Oshodi is not rural. Ajegunle. Let's just say. I don't know Lagos well, wherever. Ajegunle, you get what I mean. Ajegunle. So, where do you think money affects? Rural, semi-rural, elite. Where do you think money plays the biggest part in politics? Rural, semi-elite, rural and semi-rural, rural. Definitely rural. Semi-rural. Please, nobody. I use Surulere as an example. Please, nobody should have them. Affects all in my experience. Rural. No, I'm not saying it doesn't affect all. What I'm saying is, where does it affect the most? Rural. Urban. Semi-rural. Rural. When the person says urban, is the person referring to the full elite? Well, okay. So this was interesting having that, but in experience and ratio and documentation and studying voter inducement, the place where where money actually dictates who votes what is actually with the semi-rural. They're actually the one up for sale, more than rural. They are always up for sale. Semi-rural. That's Surulere. They are always up for sale. Always up for sale. And you want to know why? They're the ones that print posters. They're the ones. So if somebody gets a poster deal, you say, no, now this guy is supposed to be president because I mean do the poster. Do you understand? They're the ones that build the websites. They're the ones that work as campaign managers, they're the ones who even carry the money to the grassroots. They're the ones who carry money to the rural areas. So the semi-rural is where the magic happens. Middle class, anywhere in the world, dictates what happens in an election. That's where the fight always is. The elite are too few, the rural are too sparsely not knowing what to do. Dictation happens in the semi-rural areas. We also have focused on emotional voting rather than rational decision making. So somebody will pick a president, a presidential candidate or a gubernatorial candidate because he appeals to him. Maybe he's young, maybe she's beautiful. I'll give you an example of emotional decisions. Now, sorry, I talk this Natasha matter now. Anyway, let's go there. Natasha was suspended as a senator. I'm not going to talk about sexual harassment case in court. Do you understand? Whatever she did in the Senate, which was wrong, they suspended her. Beautiful. At the same time, Miranda in Lagos, Obasa was voted out by legislators. Miranda became Speaker of the Lagos State House of Assembly. Through some party and bullying and whatever, she resigned and became Deputy Speaker. Obasa took her to court. Yeah, people thought it was better to fight over the conversation of Natasha than fight over the conversation of Miranda. I'm looking at the political misnomers here. I'm not looking at sexual harassment. So nobody should say I put sexual harassment behind politics. Please, that's not what I'm saying. I'm just looking at the political indices on both matters. Now, Natasha is already a senator. Lagos has not had a female in the top three. That's deputy governor. I think since Fashola. Was it Fashola? No, I think since Ambode. The last one was Tinubu, then Ambode, and they've not had anybody else again. Do you see emotional choices instead of right? So politically, I believe women were to stand for Miranda more. But well, Natasha is, she's out there. We saw her husband gave her Rolls Royce. We've all followed her life, that kind of thing. Which seems more interesting. The bigger war for women in politics was in Lagos. I was totally ignored. It was so ignored that women went to go and demonstrate in Lagos State House of Assembly for Natasha. Like the Lagos State Assembly can talk to the National Assembly. No offense to women, that was just said, but I didn't mean to release that straight bullet. It was a mistake. It was by mistake. Now, loyalty to partners, to personalities over institutions. And this is a part of political psychology in Nigeria, which affects critical things that we do not pay attention to. I'll give you an example. If let's say our daddy in the religion, whether you're Muslim or Christian, decides to say this person is this person, we just trust their judgments, regardless of anything. Regardless of what we know about the person, regardless of the person's antecedents, regardless of what the person has done. We just say, okay, this is the thing. Or your daddy and mommy on social media. You have them. We all have them. Those people that can never do wrong. Anytime they just make posts, you don't even read it like, Baba, apt. We're very good at writing apt. Whatever that means. Just come and write apt. Organa, you, my leader. You don't even read what. And that loyalty gives you a problem because it also makes you predictable. So if I have, for say, somebody in a church and I have this guy and then I get him and I say, okay, this guy is on our side, all he needs to do is speak. That happens also in America, so don't think it's a Nigerian thing. But it's part of political behavior. Once the person speaks, well, this guy knows what he's doing. This guy knows what he's doing. And that's where we find ourselves. Now, this will all add up somewhere in front of this lecture. So just note these things. So me, one, my vote does not count. How many people think that their votes do not count in Nigeria? Just use the chat box because I know that if I decide to open my here, the answer is going to be 3 billion. So how many people think their votes do not count? It counts and it's not just you. Are you people three in this class? It counts, but I've never voted because of lack of credibility. Wait, who said this? Harrison Hampson. You say you never voted because of lack of credibility. It's because you don't vote that the elections are not credible. I'll tell you one thing. An election can only, and take this to the bank, an election can only be rigged because you don't vote. So imagine if 60 million people don't vote, you're able to alter at least 3 million votes to suit your aim. Ask them in the collation centers. What I said is very correct. Votes can be altered because you don't vote. Where everybody in a polling unit came out to vote, and you see it happening. Check where it happened in places, let's say in Lekki, in some parts of Benue. You will see they couldn't rig anything in that polling unit because everybody came out. But when you don't come out, you have given them one more voter to use. So not voting makes it easier to rig. See someone attesting, I witnessed this as a PO during NYSC. So that's the truth. So you that think you don't vote in the name of Hampson, please give the mic to Hampson. Jessica, are you there?
Yes, I have. I've told him for the minute.
Hampson.
Good evening, ED.
Good evening, Edie. Oh, yeah, good evening, Hampson. Hampson, first, I'd like to ask, have you worked in a collation center? Have you walked around voting? Have you?
No, I haven't, but I have observed.
Yeah, wait. I read what you wrote.
Okay.
You said whether votes count or not is relative. If you've not
Yes.
participated in something, please tell me how you have the experience in it. It's just a simple question.
Well, sir, I say it's relative because of course, the kind of experiences we've been seeing, and then I think
Wait. Hampson, you are male, right? Harrison, you are male, right?
Yeah, yes, sir.
Are you going to argue giving birth with Jessica?
Well, this is a different context.
No, it's a simple thing. Are you going to?
It's a different context, sir, but no.
No, it's not a different context. It's the same context. If you have not experienced something, you cannot use opinions of others. Then comparing with people who have maybe headed election observation units, run for office, which means they had a situation room and knows what goes on, being national national executive member of a political party, and has participated in multiple elections. What are you saying? I'm not saying I'm right, but for you to have this conversation, you need a particular level of experience to have this conversation. That's the truth.
Well, sir,
So
I think
I will not go ahead. You said
I think, sir, in talks of experience, we can get that experience through research or asking questions, which I think I've
Research.
studied.
Wait. Research involves Practical, right?
Yes, sir.
Oh, okay. Then the practical will now be participating, right?
No, sir, it's not subjected to
It's
just
not.
me.
Oh,
That, that's not
okay.
subjected to just me.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
why. So that what I would say that is relative is if you look at it from perhaps maybe a national scale, we can talk about numbers. Um, can actually be a factor in not region. But I come from a place where what we are talking about
Where
relates
do you
more.
come from?
I come from Adamawa State, normal local government, sir.
Numan?
Yes, sir. I come from Numan, sir. So it really doesn't matter whether it's a matter of number, a game of number, whether it's less or more. What we battle with day in, day out, every election cycle is the fact that the chance of getting the election being reached is high. Whether the people come out in their numbers or they come out very low, it's going to be rigged. So that is why that is the reason that gave me the personal conviction to say I think it counts, but it's relative. It
Wait,
counts,
wait,
but
wait. When you say an election is rigged, are you
yes,
referring to it being rigged because the person you wanted to win didn't win?
no, 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 no.
No,
I'm
no,
not.
no, because you can't take what happened in Numan to say the same thing happened in Michika. Am I right or am I wrong?
Yes, sir. Of course,
Eh?
of course. But sir, now
Abi?
you yes, sir. But now you see the relativeness I'm saying is because of the political environment that I come from. I mean, because
But
of how
so,
yes, sir.
but so
Because
that
of
will not flog this topic long. Let me make it very simple.
okay, sir.
When we are talking, we individually talk about what goes on in a particular polling unit. So if you get what goes on in a polling unit and ensure transmission in one polling unit, and you can
Mm,
replicate that across 177,000, you have a minutely rigged election.
okay,
That's the truth.
okay.
That's the truth. And I've worked long enough with this conversation that I think I know what I'm saying is right.
I believe you, sir. But sir,
No, you
would
don't
you
need
also
to believe
like
me.
no, sir? Would you also relate this case to like an instance where the local government elections now it happens that the entire 21 local governments just 18 I think 18 of the local governments were challenged unopposed, not that there wasn't opposition parties in the state, but because of the might that the governor has and then the influence he was showing to anybody that could be an opposition. So it's now sort of
Oh,
broke.
when we are talking about
Yes, sir.
there was a local government election. We know that the, the anomalies there are beyond normal. Let's not even discuss it.
Oh, okay, sir.
Because if you are talking of you are even talking of they didn't allow opposition. Ekiti once did yes or no for APC. Was an APC? No, not was it Ekiti or Osun? Sorry, no, can't remember. Whether it was, I can't. It was one of the southwestern states. They didn't allow any opposition party participate. Then the voting card only had yes or no for the ruling party. So I find absolute madness. Thank you, Harrison. Let's move on. So the origin of the myth, my vote doesn't count, electoral malpractice and rigging history, which of course has a psychological impact on voter apathy and disengagement. It's not more, but reality, of course, improvements in the electoral reforms, improvements in beavers have limited preceding this electoral act, overvoting was only when votings were more than the number of the people in the polling units. Now, it cannot be number of people overvoting. You can't be more than number of people that are accredited voters that day. It's a massive improvement. If you know the amount of rigging that has cut down, then you would understand the problem we have in this country. But that's about to change. Now, empowering the electorate to demand accountability, which is what we're doing here, trying to get you to understand the way things work. Then election, I'll tell you, preceding 2023, and there's data to back this. Electoral violence in Lagos has a little over 10,000 polling units. So Electoral violence in Lagos was over 1,000 polling units. 2023, it was 323 polling units issues. This is far brought down than any election in Lagos history, in recent history. But nobody will attest to that. Nobody remembers that in 2015, there were a woman was burnt in Kogi. Nobody remembers that in 2015 in Kano, in 2019, a resident electoral commissioner and his family were burnt. Nobody alive. Nobody remembers that. 2023, no payoffs. Data clearly shows that 2023 it's not the best election. But according to Nigerian election, who can tell me Nigeria's worst election? In this class, since democracy in 1999, Nigeria has one election that is totally off the charts. Who can type what that election is? Okay. Hi, there's some brilliant guys in this place. 2007, the election that they don't even know what they won by. The election where they don't even know the numbers. It's the election that brought in the Yar'Adua government. It is the most heinous election, highest amount of electoral violence, total madness. 2007 elections. It was madness. I don't know, somebody's mic is still on. We have a little discrepancy. Can you mute everyone? Yes, sir.
Yes, I've done that.
Okay, so 2007 elections were the worst elections in Nigerian election history. Now, myth two, politics is only for the wealthy. Now, perception, financial capital is the prerequisite for political entry, psychological effect, dissuasion of competent, ethical candidates, reality. Grassroots mobilization and crowdfunding as alternatives, and individuals have succeeded without wealth. But here's the key. You do not come in 2025, next year, after attending electoral college, and say you want to be governor of your state. Bros, you know, go work. I'm the one telling you. If you don't have a plan in elections that spans at least 2 electoral cycles, you're most likely not to win. Except if you're running mid and tell you calm down and give you 50 million naira, because that one you're doing, that is a different ballgame. But if you're running to win, your plan must span at least 2 electoral cycles. Noting into cognizance whatever rotation move is being played on that particular election, noting how voter apathy keeps increasing, and how you're going to play with undecided voters. You need more than 8 years for that. For me, I think a successful plan to run for elections should be something starting from 12 years. And this is not because I want to dissuade anybody. This is because I know better. This is not to say that there will not be anomalies. There always are anomalies. If you're running for House of Rep or whatever, it's better you have an 8-year plan. You know where you're going, you know where you're headed, you know where you could be. Now that makes more intellectual sense. Now, myth 3, ethnic and religious sentiments always strive. Now, the belief citizens, politicians must align with ethnic or religious blocs to succeed. Reality, success stories of cross-regional, cross-religious candidates, gradual shifts towards issue-based campaigns. And you cannot deny that there are no gradual shifts towards what they call it, issue-based campaigns. Because let's be honest, we've seen a lot of people come up, 6 million votes, someone who was not even presidential candidate worthy preceding elections. And it was not votes by Christians alone, Christians, Muslims, people from North, people from South, people from Europe, different things. We've seen success stories of these things happen. And they happen not because sometimes I don't ever think it's time and chance. Sometimes it happens because it is necessary for it to happen. We always think that I don't know who fed it to us. And if you're not this, you can't do this. If you're not this, you can't do this. That's your first limitation. Always will be your first limitation. We need to understand that these things no longer thrive. And of course, the reality of political cynicism. Now, definition, the belief that all politicians are corrupt or self-serving. It is so bad that when you hear the word Godfather in Nigeria, it's thought of as a bad thing. That's the first thing. Godfather, bad. There's Godfather everywhere now. For all you lawyers that joined the chambers of science so that they can mentor you. What is the mentor? It's not like a Godfather. It's the same thing now. Aaron Sola said it in our class, if I remember. Fatherism is not bad. It's maybe the direction you've chosen with your Godfather that maybe might be bad, but it's not bad. So we cannot undermine the psychological impact of this political cynicism in Nigerians. They believe their votes don't count. They believe this one can never be good. This party is bad. Which party is bad? All parties are bad. It's the players that make up the party, not everybody in a party is bad. There's no good party. But there are mechanics, system checks and balances that ensure. And this same political cynicism has reduced citizen engagement in governance. No worry, now governor, you don't chop our money. Listen, they don't use our money. How can you continue like that? We have also normalized unethical political behavior, suspension of governor suspending local government chairman. We know it's not ethical, but we accept it. And the only way to promote all this cynicism is why you guys are here. Transparency and civic education. Look, this is a class where you are. Is this on the call? This is a class where you used
Yes,
to
I am.
be.
I'm here.
Was this not a class that was over 1,000 that registered?
Yes.
Over 5,000 tried to register. 1,000 got into the class. And you cannot, in a class, have 200 people attending the class. This is where Nigeria is headed. Meanwhile, if we ask you guys to pay for this class, I don't want to tell you how much you'll be paying. You can't pay for it. But yet you think the knowledge is unnecessary. Because your view in politics is, I can't. I don't. I beg. I'll go to Canada. You say you go to Canada, your mother and father are still here, Abi? They'll affect you now. One day, monkey will go market, no go come back. It will affect you eventually. And you need to understand that. Now, there are different kinds. This is where it gets interesting. Role of propaganda in Nigerian politics. Techniques used. Here. No small party can. A vote for a small party is a waste of your votes. That's fear mongering. No small party can win an election. No be small party, they win election back to back up and down. And that's what's going on. But yet somebody told you otherwise. And the amount of fake news and misinformation. Political parties don't have ideology. Political parties don't have constitution. The Godfather is this. Who is giving you that just? According to somebody in this, was it this court or last court? Lisa is last court now. The use of juju in politics.
It was last cohort.
The guy was really ignorant. He said, no, you don't understand the use of juju in politics. And I said, look, if Nigeria had a place where you go and do juju and you win an election, Americans and British people would have bought all that juju things. Things would not have even met it. Lectures are a tough thing now. Emotional appeals over logic. Hey, an emotional appeal. Emilio Kong, it's our turn. It's emotional. Propaganda. I did my great works in Anambra, go and verify. No be you when Anambra they torture people up and down. I don't forgotten now. Some of you have. Hey, I'm probably fighting with dragon. Hey. Google after off your mic. Google the person who was denying the 173 billion naira that ended left spray NDC. So the dragon now. Nigerians forget to easily. Emotion over logic. This is a country where a senator with a sex tape will become a governor because some people forgot. I don't call the state's governor. We'll just do X. There was a former senator. Now, what are the impacts on voters? Manipulation of decision making and polarization of communities. The Yoruba man must win, an Igbo man was win. It's better in Southern ticks, better in Northern ticks. Those are the problems you have. Now, the psychology of political hope. Now, a few things have brought in more hope. Of course, youth involvement in politics, example, not too young to run. Few of you that are in political schools in Nigeria, getting rising awareness on governance issues. I won't lie, the internet has done a lot there, though the internet has also ensured practical stupidity because of people like XXX and XO, I'll mention. And some people that MI6, MI16 is looking for. It's MI6 they were referring to. MI16 is looking for, and they even have documents and pages on them. And of course, increased advocacy and community participation has been key to improving political now actionable solutions. Now we need to build in political awareness. We need to socialize the constitution. That's break it down to the simplest ways in which people can understand or find places in which people can get to understand the constitution. We need to foster more inclusive politics. We need to support marginalized groups, that's women, youth, people living with disabilities. And then we need to encourage debates. Debates is not your father. You know, Nigerians, you're a small boy. That's our debates mechanism. But healthy, constructive debates and issue-based campaigns. We need massive reorientation and political literacy. It's very key. Now, in conclusion, I'll say the ignorance of one voter in a democracy impairs the security of all. That was JF Kennedy. I'm saying let us commit to understanding myths and realities of our political system for informed citizens. Realities of our political system for informed citizens create a stronger Nigeria. A love of country, Konida. Now it's critical. I'll share something that happened in closing in 2019. Sorry, 2023. And preceding elections, there was a there was there was a song that came out. I found it harmless. Song was Jagaba, Jagaba. When another song came out, I'm ahead of them. Asiwaju first. You didn't know you were already being primed. And that means you don't even know what goes on in politics. Thank you very much.
Well, amazing. As always, ED, exceptional presentation, exceptional delivery, and very informative. Thank you so much for donating your holiday to us. Okay, we are going to be going into the question segment. Though I believe this class has been very clear. But if you have any questions, please, you can raise your hand and you'll be given an opportunity to speak. Okay, we have Isa Mohammed. Please do well to ask your questions in 10 to 15 seconds. Thank you very much. Isa Mohammed.
Thank you, ED, for a wonderful paper. My question regarding the political psychology of Nigerians, can that be linking to our African culture or Nigerian culture? What actually was the basis for this our behavior in Nigeria? Thank you, sir.
There are a lot. I think I stated them: cultural, historical, economic factors. I stated quite a lot of basis for how we think or how our psychology is being twisted or played around with or trifled with by politicians. So I think I made that very clear in lecture. Very, very clear.
Thank you.
Okay, Isa Mohammed, you can refer back to the slide that was shared on the cohort group. Okay, Juliet, please go ahead.
Okay, good evening, everybody. Thank you, ED, for the presentation. But I have a concern. There's something you've always said, and you repeated it here again. You said for somebody to emerge victorious in politics, that you need to plan ahead. You need like up to 2 cycles of elections to plan yourself and prepare to win. But then I want to find out, where do you then place people who just showed up within the space and they eventually emerge? Is it not possible that maybe somebody shows up for elections in a particular circle, not really being that the person has been there for a long time and the person wins? Is that not possible?
Remember that when I was talking, I stated their situations. I continued. You got the first part of what I said. The second part of what I said is, of course, there are anomalies in every situation. Somebody who just joined election, maybe because one godfather wants him. That was the example I used. And he enters office. I said it. There are those anomalies. There are people that just time and chance. There are some who is not even a godfather. Maybe at the time, the people are so angry at their senator or so angry at this thing. It happens. But I was saying strategically, if you want to run for those positions, these are the appropriate times to plan for them. That's if you are not planning on ifs and maybes. These are two different conversations, and I stated it while talking. So you heard the first part of what I said, but that was not all I said.
Okay, thank you, Eddie. Aaron Paul. Are you still on the call, Aaron? Okay. I'll be moving on to Glory Adebayo.
Thank you very much. Good evening, Edie. I just want to ask about well, you mentioned that the smaller political parties can never win an election, and you are very correct. So,
No, I didn't say
how
that. I did not say that. What I said, Glory, don't change what I said, please. What I said is that it's commonly said by people in big parties that small parties can win
oh,
election. And it ain't there 8 parties down in the national. That's what I said. People should
oh,
stop. I just said this thing. You people are already
I,
changing it
I,
again back.
no, I think it's the network. I think it's the network. If I had you, I would not have said that. Okay, thank you, sir.
Okay.
Okay then. Harrison. Harrison, are you there?
Yeah,
Okay, I'll be moving. Okay, go ahead.
thank you, Edie, for this wonderful session. Something really caught my attention, and because of how practical I'm taking this class, I wanted to bring it back so that we may perhaps see to it. We spoke about juju, and then I think we overrided it almost immediately. But what I was thinking, and then I would also like you to talk about, is the fact that maybe perhaps it's not a means to win election, but then some people use that to intimidate oppositions, and then contestants, other contestants, because I will always say, from where I come, is very, very much common. See someone new comes in, and then when you try to, if you're not really rooted as an African, so sir, what would you have to say with regards to that?
Which state are you from, please?
Once again, Numan, Adamawa State, sir.
And wait, this is Harrison again.
Yes, sir, it's Harrison.
You like controversy, sir. If you are going to talk about juju, is the Adamawa state you call in the whole of Nigeria?
No, sir,
Hmm?
I have to. I have
You
to use it.
haven't gone to Kogi, you haven't gone to Edo where there's traffic lights of witches and wizards. No offense, so I beg, I'm just joking. Edo is not true. It's just a joke because I beg for you to bring your wallet to my fight. But that's a joke. And I'll be honest, I don't think you can even talk about if you are talking about those kind of things. You're even going to bring it up with Adama State. Adama, come on, stop that joke. There are more fetishes across the middle belt of Nigeria. But this is to say, yes, some people use it and think it, but well, yet I don't know. Maybe you people know, but see now they say they are going to report me in Benue State. I beg Benue State, you just buy them palm wine and fish. Benin City, I beg, well, I know they play with those ones. Please, sorry, I dey great about Benin Sef. I know they play with those ones. But I'll still say that I've not seen it play on a larger scale, let's be honest. All the juju talk is usually at local government election level and it stays there. So I don't see it when you're lifting it up. Or did Fintiri use juju for Mama, what's her name? That was running for governor. What's her name now?
Binta.
Binta.
Binta
Senator
Masi.
Binta, did he use juju? Mama, did he use juju for her? To
It's,
stop local jokes now. Stop it, stop it, stop it, stop it.
so
It's not good.
I have a
Oh
case
God,
that
stop it.
still
Don't bring controversy. Stop it. Doesn't
okay.
work, and we all know that.
As I said, I have a case that actually is something that we are looking into right now, and in fact, we want to tread carefully because of something like this. That is why, in fact, I said I have to bring it up for you to look into. Necessarily
Me, I
not
should
on a
look into.
national, yes, not sure necessarily not on a national or a bigger scale, but this is even between like a House of Reps member from where I come from the three constituencies that the someone, and I wouldn't call him, has actually been there for the longest period of time, and they've been actually trying to see means and ways. But I would tell you that the last person that tried, he was kept down, like, and every other person right now is really scared of, in fact, even wanting to go. So I'm trying to stress on the fact that it might not really be something that has been popular or is being thrown so much light into,
I
but
I
I think
cannot. Harrison. The fact we've not spoken about juju this long is a problem. It's a big problem because I know people that have gone to go and bath in market in the night. Nothing happened. They still lost the election like goods. I've seen those that have gone to bat in so and say they're going to scare their opponent out of whatever. That's even when their opponents started jumping on top of their heads.
are you not
So
even
I
seeing
don't.
you have to between them
Harrison,
now?
Harrison. I do not do controversies. I can't see the scientific back for that, and I've not seen it alter anything anywhere. It has always been hearsay, hearsay. I've noticed something when the black man cannot explain something, he hides behind you. That's the truth. People will tell you, when this minister came to the office, man, she saw three cobras sitting down on the chair. Really? Three cobras in one place. Please, I don't want to entertain it. Please, let's not have that position. Thank you. If you want, there should be a Juju school of governance. And discuss it there. I'm not interested.
Okay. I'm coming on Ijoma now. Ijoma, your question, please.
Okay, good evening, EG. Can you hear me?
Yes, go ahead.
Okay, thank you for the section, sir. I want to draw a question from like a scenario. With all these that have been mentioned, or you mentioned, the psychology of politics and the ideologies that you portrayed also, do you think that there's there will be like a new order, as maybe like a new wave with these coming Gen Zs and the Alpha that we might not even anticipate, or and then they might be able to also change what we like already know, or what is the maybe traditional norm that we have already been
Gen Z.
observing. Because I
Gen Z.
I feel so.
People that think that Burna Boy is more instrumental to changing the world than people that are actually changing the world. Gen Z that think Regina Daniel is a billionaire. Gen Z that will put money together for somebody in Big Brother and cannot put money behind the candidate is who will bring the new world order. Nah, not yet.
Oh, okay. So with this, why I say so, sir, is that with this new as maybe let's call it revolution now that we are maybe getting bit by bit.
Wait. Which
feel
revolution? Which revolution do you have in Nigeria, please?
okay. If you check the last video that trended by the copper girl, like about the current president and all that it also maybe brought forth. I like I still feel so that going forward we
Did
might
you
also
feel no? Now this is a little miss. I don't know what I'll call it. This disinformation. That increase for copper salaries was already in the budget. It was already in effect. Go and check it. I think, and then budget just passed in March, which meant it was going to be paid April, or budget was released, I think, in February. It was going to be paid March. So it's not exactly, I think it's a clash of timing. It's not what she did, though, that caused the increase in copper. That's not right. It's totally not right.
okay, sir.
Okay. We have been set right. Thank you, Eddie. Taufik. Go ahead.
Hello, good evening, sir. Edie.
Good evening.
Yes, it has been a while. I'm happy, truly happy to be in this class. Probably, as I've said earlier, I was fortunate to participate during the last general and gubernatorial election in Nigeria as an observer down to Kyogun within Oyo State. So based on this political psychology, I've witnessed it, I've had it, I've studied it because I studied political science during my degree. So I want to ask, probably, though I've posted it on the chat, probably you can give us a practical assignment, which is going to be a form of feedback to compensate all your activities towards this electoral college. And besides, I want to ask, looking at all what is happening based on the political psychology of, let me say, more than 90% of Nigerian electorate didn't know the importance of voting during election, as I said earlier, and that is what makes people to reach the election. The fact that the citizens are not ready to exercise their political rights. So what do you think we can do to at least play some little role in the grassroots level to make people to be more orientated and more enlightened as regard the essence of political participation, and most especially voting? Thank you.
I've always opined and clearly stated that the problem in Nigeria is not voting. The problem is that we do not participate in parties. If we participated in parties, we will now be able to dictate the kind of candidates that came out and will be more committed to participating in voting. That has always been the problem for me, and I don't know how nobody wants to have that discussion in Nigeria. As regards the psychology of the average Nigerian. A lot of people think what goes on. I was having a conversation the other day and they were saying, no, we need to take conversation to the grassroots. Man, we need to say they don't know anything. And the talk was about the constitution. And I just said, okay, randomly, you guys, I'm going to unmute. Councillor, executive or legislative? Out of 5 people that I think spoke, 4 thought councillors were executive. And these are what you call the elite. So I said, what are you going to go and teach the grassroots if you yourself don't know? And these are the kind of conversation. So it's a little hard, and a little this thing. And I read the chat box just now. Someone is saying ED is avoiding reacting on Juju. For me, it's a stupid thing to talk about. I don't waste time. I was joking about it. I laughed about it, but it's stupid to talk about when you're referring to governance. I've walked around governance in different places in Nigeria and places that you call juju oriented and whatever, and I've not seen the effect of that. And for me, I don't think the electoral college was set up to be discussing juju, so I have totally no comments about it. It's not because I'm afraid to react, it's because I don't care categorically and don't believe in its existence. So stop. It's not a case of what do you call it? I don't know what I'm talking about. So could we have next person? Thank you very much. I mean,
Okay. Babatunde?
just go. Okay, Babatunde. Where are the women?
Babatunde, I've asked you to unmute.
Hello, good evening, sir. Good evening, Edie. Good evening, everyone.
Good evening, Babatunde.
Yes, sir. Thank you so much for the privilege to speak. I was supposed to speak the other time when you were talking about on your slide that shows does our vote count. I was supposed to speak, but because of the time frame, I could not speak. So I don't know if I can actually say something about that, sir.
Okay, you can.
Okay, thank you so much, sir. I've been in politics for already 10 years now. At least I joined politics in Lagos. I've been in Lagos since birth. Since 2014, I've been in politics, opposition in Lagos. I don't need to say my party, but truth of the matter is there's nothing that will happen in my polling units or that wants to happen in my polling units. All the PO, all those whatever INEC officials will tell those APC people to come and meet me first before anything can happen. If I don't approve of anything, nothing will happen in that place. So just when I noticed some people writing on the wall, on the comment that our vote does not count, well,
Okay.
they should know that our vote actually counts. Our vote counts. The only time I've given them that privilege to do whatever they like was when someone who was coming in the first time, when settlements were coming, because I stay around civil servants. I'm not a civil servant. So when they came to meet me, in fact, on the day of election, they came to meet me and said, see, our guy wants to be the governor. Don't see. I know that you don't like things like this. Just excuse yourself. And the truth of the matter is, I excuse myself from it, and I know what they did.
No, but Babatunde, the key point that you're bringing out today is that votes count. But do you know how I know Nigerians that don't vote? Do you know I know Nigerians that don't vote? Once you write my vote doesn't count, I already know you've not voted. Or I know you don't participate.
Okay.
You know that, right? You know that.
I know that.
You know that is very easy to catch them. And they don't know when they are doing it most of the time, but that's how I know. Do you understand?
Yes.
But if you worked in that system, it is clear. See, once you are in the polling unit and you go there constantly, there is no how anything will go on that. It's not possible. You know now, but people don't go. So what do you expect?
Exactly, sir. Exactly. They don't even want to cajole you. Okay, a polling unit is 500. So maybe probably people that came is like 100 and something. They'll come and meet you and say that, see, let's finish this whole ballot. It's going to be a waste. So just for you to accept to that, so for them to do, so most times what I do is I know you people will win in this
place. But I'm going to make sure that you people vote 1-1. So what they want to do is vote 3 times, 4 times, 5 times. No, just one. I know you win me, no problem.
Thank you very much. You know what's even making me laugh?
But voting 5 times, 6 times, this always. Sir? Hello, sir.
I can hear you. Go ahead.
I think
so
his network
imagine
is
in my polling units where we have like A and B and C. That's like 1,005 people to vote. And the vote might be lower than like 600. They want to meet up with the 1,005. So they want to come and meet you, the opposition. Alpha, what's the way forward?
Is that not, wait, but Babatunde does not now bring what I said earlier, that they can only rig when you don't come to vote. That's the truth. But you won't know if you don't participate in the elections. That's the truth.
Yes, sir. And do you now know the end of it is that the collation officers too, they have a lot of issues too. By the time you get to collation officers in Ikeja, where I am now, we have 10 wards. If as a collation officer you have like 4 wards already with you, other 6 wards, they know you don't have it. They will go and manipulate those 6 wards before they get to the collation officer. To the collation office, before you add over, they have changed figures, added 0 to some, added 1 to front. Maybe in a place whereby it is 130, they will add 1 to it to look like 1,130. So our vote actually counts. It's just that people should be aware of it. People should be aware that our votes count. If you don't come out to vote, these people knows how to do it. They will change figures. 0 goes a long way. Just one figure can change the whole thing. So people actually need to understand this.
Thank you very much, Babatunde, and
Thank you, sir.
Thank you for giving us a realistic point of view. You know, I really like, especially long talks that are not based on experience. I don't like engaging them, and I don't know why you guys, after multiple classes with me, haven't found that yet about me. I don't engage in hearsay. I don't engage in things that are not, factual or backed. You want to talk about Babalawo, that's your business. I'm more ready to have that conversation. It's irrelevant. And I don't know, but for me, there's a lot you need to understand. A whole lot. And you're telling people this, they can't back what they're saying factually, and you're still arguing. I think that's what hurts me the most. But it's Nigerians. They don't like the simple way of doing things. So, Jessica, who's next, please?
Ojo.
Where are the women now?
Yeah, I was wondering too. Ojo, go ahead.
That's how they will be hiding behind now. And later they will say they are marginalized. I don't know who is marginalizing them. I have to specifically be calling them every day.
All right. Thank you very much, Madam Lisa. Please, can you confirm if you can hear me?
Can hear you, Ojo.
All right. Thank you very much, Idi.
Okay.
Good evening to you. Thank you for this amazing session. Now, you've mentioned or you've kind of touched a little part of the question I wanted to ask, right? Now, this is my question. I am part of those people that believe that if you're going to contest for any office, you must prepare at least 16 years ahead. That is 4 10 years ahead, right? And then you said 8 years, like, proper start planning like 16 years. So now the issue is in bigger parties like APC, PDP, and NPP, there is always this queue, right? People are, people are already on queue. That this year I'll be going for this. After 4 years, it is my turn. After 4 years, it is my son's turn, and like that. So, what do you think we as youth can do? Should we still join this bigger party and kind of join the queue, or try to beat the queue, or prepare ahead, then join a new party? Or that's my question actually. So, what do you think we can do?
No, number one, that your 16-year plan, for me, I only believe it if you're running for president. It's too much. or any other thing else. Um, um, I think 16 years is about enough time to run for president. Plan to run for president, to make yourself strategic uh, enough to be president. Um, you're saying, do you want to be how do you put it? Or do you want to be part of the queue, big parties? For other parties, no, they win election. Must you go that way? Let me give you a small hack. What PDP and APC have the structure and massive people that can recognize their logos. If you're willing to spend, and this is a simple thing, if you're willing to spend the amount of money a campaign form costs in PDP or APC on letting people know your party, not your name. The mistake most candidates make in other parties is they will be Ojo is running for House of Rep. Vote Ojo or the future. The party logo will be very small. So they don't even know your party in the end. They just say, man, this Ojo tried during campaign. Oh. You know which party they say? They don't know. But if you're ready to spend, let's say a campaign form is 100 million for House of Rep, you're ready to put 100 million on sensitization on radio, TVs that handle there locally. You're ready to sink in 100 million, they'll know your party. And that is how you beat the so-called structure. But we're ready to play. Wait, come. Are you people paying me consultancy for this? I'm here opening my mouth and revealing trade secrets anyhow.
Seriously.
No. Why am I doing this now? So if you're ready to do that, just prepare to outspend. They're going to spend that money in primaries and delegates. Your own form is tertiary money, no problem. There's even probably nobody contesting on you. So you sit down and you spin the wheel around. So you know what? They spent 100 million. It doesn't mean I've stopped spending 100 million. But you bring out 100 million and ensure they know your party. There is no how you spend 100 million in a constituency that they will not know that party name. Yeah, you say he didn't steal. Do you think everybody APC and PDP stole? Is that what you think? That's another anomaly. I need to carry hammer and hit out of people's heads. Not everybody stole in APC and PDP. You have no business in an election if you cannot raise money. I'll tell you. If you cannot see, if you want to know whether you can run for office, think. You're sitting down today. Can you have 40 million in your bank account by the end of today, making only 4 calls? If you not reach that level, election is not for you. Boom. I'm the one that's going to tell you. Boom. Oh no. What's in the what do JFC say? No cap. No cap. So I'm trying to be funky. So no cap. If you can't call, and bring up that kind of money, you are not ready. So there is no queue. Which queue? You can buy the queue now. You're planning 8 years. You've made 6 billion naira. You bring 1 billion that you want to run for House of Rep. Even in the big parties, whoever is the person's turn, they'll carry hammer and hit down and say, "Guy, go and sit down, wait for when this guy finishes." There are multiple ways you can do things now. It's how you want to do them. And I know people have done that to people who were in the turn. They carry hammer, scatter the turn people. So what are you ready to do? Do you want to be the queue? Do you want to be Jagaban? Do you want to be... Have you even tried getting, and this is, you might not even need money. In this case, have you tried getting, let's give an example. Have you tried getting 50,000 people into a party? 50,000. It's simple now. Maybe the dues is 1K. Hold 50K. When everybody comes to register, you actually hold, like, let's say, 150K. Because getting 50 people into a party. Now, you guys didn't know it was as cheap as this. How much do you think paying dues was? 1,000 about a year. Getting them into the party, 50K. You get another 100K as you come. When you finish, while they're in the party signing their form, they land them one small Maltina and one egg roll. We have a facilitated thing. And before you say I'm supporting stomach infrastructure, even in America, they provide food for people during campaigns, people that work within the campaigns and whatever. It's not anything. It's a way of saying thank you, or we're a family, I'm part of you, or whatever. So that's the truth. But you don't want to be practical. You want to say, I want to go and buy from in PDP, and then I want to be the candidate. You have not done anything. What do you expect now? Olule, straight. I'm not speaking Yoruba for the fun of it, so I'm just using Olule because somebody used it.
Okay. Ade Kunle.
There's another Adekunle that is not me.
Yes, sir.
Thank you, Edie. We love
Thanks,
your
sir.
presentation. I want to talk about the way people view INEC, and one I think is one of their problems why people don't want to vote. When INEC try to do a kind of a presentation and is asking for people to come, they throw it open to people to come. But most of the time, you see that only stakeholders will come. Free person, neutral person will not come. And every politician, they are always about their interest. And at the end of the day, you see common man saying their votes are not count. Like, I want to talk about the beavers. These beavers of a thing. The way it operates now, if you are not accredited, you cannot vote. So
Yes,
most
sir.
of it, I'm wondering, how can somebody now say the election is rigged when 20 people is accredited and 20 people voted? Fine, in the past, there might be some errors based on conflicting judgments about card readers, but INEC has advanced to beavers now, to the extent that when you use the beavers and the beavers accreditate you, that is only when you can vote. But majority of Nigerians fail to understand that part. So they still keep on saying the same thing by saying their votes are not counted. That is one aspect. The second aspect is this. If you go to the rural area, I always tell people, you are only sitting down in the urban areas. If you come to the rural area, you know that the rural area were the one who voted most, because once they were offered a certain amount of money, these people will just vote anyhow. They don't really care, because most of them are looking for a daily needs, which are not given to them. But once a politician offer them that thing, you will see them, they will come out in mass to vote. The last election that I witnessed, people voted because of 3,000 naira, 2,000 naira. And they are not coming, it's just a sign they will do. And they try to show the person, probably the coordinator, to see that, okay, I voted for so party, to get it. And they will do it, and they will just put down their name. Okay. Because I saw them myself, and I was like, come on. Somebody will now come. Those who are following labels, how many party agents the label presented for INEC? When your party agents are not there, you are now asking how the vote went and saying they are rigging it, and saying all sorts of things. I just hope this our set will be able to understand that if you don't come out, if it is only few people, those few people will be the one to determine your future. And that is where
Thank you, sir.
I felt we need to talk to them. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir. I'm even noticing a very interesting conversation in the chat box. And sometimes when I see some things and I wonder whether you people pass through us or you just didn't listen in your classes. It's really, really sad how you people write some things after we've gone through so many things. I'm not going to tell you what's right and what's wrong again. You spent 20 something classes. If you spent 20 something classes and your head is as if you are wearing helmets of nothing else can enter than what you think you know, then we can't help you here. We are not Yaba rights. I can't help you because we've shown you the anomalies, we've shown you how things work, we've shown you how this is, and you still carry the same sentiments you have been carrying. And when I say we probably can predict how you guys think they don't know. I used an example at the end of this class. I'm surprised nobody has even written one word on what I was trying to hinge on or what I was saying. You are manipulated always more than 2 years before elections. If you do not know that in Nigeria, then that means you don't even know what you're talking about. And if I tell you one party that became very popular was because they wanted to take Eastern votes from PDP, you argue it. But a few of us work. Adekunle, can you mute your this thing? Oh wait, I'll just do that for me. So if they tell you that was done strategically, then they feel the thing so much with what they call it, inflammable gases. Now, when it was about to blow up in their face, they realized they were not even fighting with PDP. That was the party to fight. This was done 2 years before election. Some of you don't know because you don't work strategically on some kind of levels. There are things that I'm tied to against saying because of NDAs I have working with people. But, to watch you guys just think the way you guys, exactly what they want you to think. It doesn't baffle me, but kind of surprises me. Not surprised, I already know. Well, I try to get. Anyways, let Ibrahim ask this question so that this class won't last too long. Ibrahim, could we hear from you, please?
Good evening, sir.
Good evening, Ibrahim.
Thank you very much, sir. Happy Easter, sir.
Thank you. Happy Easter.
My own precisely is not a question, it's just a comment. Really is a privilege and an honor for us to be part of this electoral college training for this. Seriously, we were enlightened. We were able to know some things that we are not aware of them, as information is power and information is money, information is an asset. So I want to just a comment. Thank you very much and your team for putting all this wonderful knowledge for free for us. Seriously, we didn't take it for granted. And for my own part, as a young aspiring politician in Nigeria, I found it worthy and I found it a privilege and honor for me to be part of this electoral college training. Thank you very much. I wish you will come back to our FCT so that we can invest in back again.
I've never left the FCT. I've just left it politically, but I've not left the FCT. I still am around. And Ibrahim, you're my namesake. You know that, right? My name is Adekunle Ibrahim Lawal. So thank you very much from namesake to namesake. Thank you so much. It means I've never left the FCT. I'm still with the FCT. Yeah, even though, a few other things are happening, but I'm still with the FCT. I've never left the FCT.
Okay.
We always talk about conduct in the electoral college. You guys, these conversations people are having, what's your conduct? I'm in a nice mood today. I'm in an off ED mood, so I'm not going to do anything. But if anybody calls anybody delusional or writes anything like that again, what will happen next? You might not like it. Don't think you can disagree to agree comfortably. I just want to let you know I saw it. I'm choosing it is Easter. Very nice behavior. Not be only in I won't go ever. Me too. I won't go ever. So let me be nice this time. I won't activate the usual autocratic ED. So thank you everyone for this class. Jessica.
Thank you so much.
Once you're done with your Easter break, you'll be going into preparation for your presidential elections. I'll say it will not be the average thing in the park. There'll be some twists to it. I look forward to that assignment for you guys next week. You're about graduating. I hope you guys are ready with your what they call it, your projects, your physical projects. I think thanks everyone for having a nice day. If anybody wants to invite me with Easter eggs, okay, sorry, let me come down to Nigeria. With Easter egg, Yankee on is Easter egg. We are on is Easter egg. I wouldn't mind. Interesting to have, look forward to that one day. So thank you, everyone. Thank you for listening. Thank you for being part of the college. Lisa, do you have anything to add to what I said?
No, none at all. It was such an interesting class. Thank you, Eddie. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, everyone.